Hey everyone, it's Lauren Gay, and I'm here in Tupelo at Mama Justice Law Firm, and I'm ready to interview Mama Justice herself, Missy Wiggington. So come along with me. So I'm here with Mama Justice herself, Missy Wiggington, today, and we're so excited to talk to you, Missy. Thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed for Ole Miss Law.
Well, I'm honored. You know, I graduated from Ole Miss. That is my alma mater. And wouldn't be where I'm at today without that law school over there. So.
Well, all right. That's awesome. Okay, so Missy, we're here to just talk about your amazing career and, I mean, all of the things that you've done. We just had a tour of the building. You have a lot of attorneys. It's not just you, and
right.
You've really grown this business. So with that said, like, how did you get started with this?
Well, the Mama Justice brand has taken off. It has really taken on a life of its own. I would never have been able in my wildest imagination to dream that we could be where we're at today. And I do believe it's a lot of our branding, but I do believe I'm blessed. You know, God has certainly blessed me and our firm with, you know, a tremendous amount of work and a tremendous amount of client support, community support. It's just been a wonderful ride, and we're still riding. I mean, it's amazing that last year we were named Mississippi's fastest growing business of all businesses. We are the fastest growing female law firm in the whole United States. The whole United States.
I saw that on a billboard.
That
Your billboards are everywhere. Yeah.
I still can't believe it. But how we got started is one billboard. We put up one billboard at Crosstown in Tupelo, where all the trains cross. I'm sure you came through there. And our phone started ringing. At that time, I was in Texas. I had married a high school sweetheart, and we were living right outside of Dallas. And I had worked for a personal injury law firm here in Tupelo. And I, at that time, was working for a personal injury law firm in Fort Worth, Texas. But I told the attorney I was working for, I was like, you know, Mississippi cases are very valuable. In the personal injury world, our uninsured motorist stats, we don't have hospital lien laws. There's a lot of good things that makes Mississippi personal injury cases very valuable. And we were going to start signing Mississippi cases and working them from Texas, basically, because that's where I was living. And our phone just started ringing off the hook. It was one little Vonage phone that sat in the corner of our living room.
Wow. That
was transferred to my cell phone. And at work, I signed up the first case there in Fort Worth, and I signed up the second case and the third case. And within a month, I told the attorney that I was that I was working for in Texas, we've got to move back to Mississippi. This is just, it was phenomenal. So we did. And February of 2019, we moved back and we opened our doors at March 1st of 2019. And we had 10 personal injury cases. I had worked for a solo practitioner before, and so I knew how to do family law work, bankruptcy, criminal law, and we were living off credit cards and my husband's 401k, and we were taking any case that walked in the door. And if they had, money, I was doing DUIs, I was doing divorce, child custody, everything that first year. But we only advertised personal injury, and we just kept pushing Mama Justice. And every little bit of money we'd get, we'd put up another billboard. And then we made our first commercial, and we used a lot of radio. Radio was really, really good. My husband really had a lot of influence with our advertising, and he's like, if we can get the kids hooked, then we can bring in a lot of business. So the kids, call you mama, then call Mama Justice, it exploded. And by 2020, we had stopped taking anything other than a personal injury case.
Wow.
And our revenue, our number of cases, the dollar amount of settlements is pretty much doubled year after year after year.
That is so inspiring. So how did you come up with the name Mama Justice?
Well, actually, I didn't. I can't take credit for that. My husband, in Texas, they don't advertise like we do here in Mississippi. In Mississippi, you're going to see John Doe PLLC. All the law firms generally are the partners' names. But in Texas, they have the Car Wreck Cowboy, and they have the Hammer, and some different, more catchy advertising. And when my boys were little, I had 2 boys. We lived in a neighborhood that had a bunch of lakes and had a bunch of boys. And I tell folks, those boys just ran that neighborhood like a pack of dogs. I mean, they were sweet, but they were dirty, stinky little boys. But they knew if they came to my house, they could come inside. I was going to feed them. I was going to give them something to drink. And a lot of them started calling me Mama Missy. And my boys' friends, some of them still call me Mama Missy. And from Mama Missy, my husband said, Mama Justice is catchy. And when I moved back here and we put up the billboard Mama Justice, there was a female attorney here in town. She's a friend of mine. And we had a women's luncheon, and she said, Missy, doesn't that embarrass you? And, it kind of hurt my feelings at first, but it was just new. Nobody around here had ever done anything like that. I was getting some chuckles from, guys that say, well, I want to be Papa Justice. They're kind of making fun of me a little bit, and I get it. But, it's been a good thing, and it's been wonderful. And, now I don't think people are laughing. I think people are sitting up and taking note. I've seen a lot of advertising evolve just here in Mississippi over the last 3 to 4 years. So maybe we were an innovator.
I think so. I think if people have nothing to say, it's probably because they don't know who you are. So that's definitely not your problem at all. So right. It's truly amazing. So can you tell me a little bit about how you've grown since you created this amazing business here?
Yes, when we first opened the doors back in, the very first day of March 2019, it was me. It was me, and I hired my son's girlfriend to help answer the phone. She wasn't very interested in work. She never worked on Mondays. Something was always a problem. But, after the first probably couple of months, she wasn't really interested in working. So I hired another person to answer the phone. It was my cousin. Well, when the phone kept ringing, I quickly realized that we had to have something of a higher level employee. And so we parted ways. I told my cousin I was thankful for all her help, but just had to have someone that I could use to answer the phone and do paralegal work. And I reached out to one of the paralegals that I worked for at a prior personal injury law firm. She was so excited to come on board. So she came on board that summer. By October of that same year, another one of the paralegals that I had worked with before came on board. And so my 2 most senior employees, they still work with me. We've been working together for more than 10 years. We date all the way back to 2013, when I first started in the personal injury space. Wow. So now we're up to 30 employees. I have 6 attorneys, including myself. I carry a caseload, just like they do. And we have a full walk-in office in Columbus, Mississippi. It's staffed with 2 attorneys, and a beautiful office in Jackson that's staffed with an attorney and a paralegal. We have an opening right now to add a litigation paralegal, because our litigation book of business has really grown. So we hired our first C-level. We hired employee, a CFO, last year. He was a CFO for a hospital in Ruston, Louisiana. He came on board, and that's been phenomenal, because now we're able to see monthly reports and exactly where we are and what we're spending on advertising and what's in the pipeline. And it's really been wonderful. We have an accounting department that has 2.5 people. One person is part-time. They cut all the settlement checks, track everything for taxes and payroll. And we also have an intake department. Our intake department is staffed with about 7 people with a manager, and they qualify all the leads coming in the door. Our phone rings 400 to 600 times a day, depending on what day it is. And their job is to qualify the lead. They get kudos for one call closes when they can close the lead immediately. And then we have referral partners with firms with that, maybe we don't handle those type cases, that we can refer the clients to get them the help they need.
So you've gotten all kinds of recognition and awards and accolades. You want to, I know it's hard to toot your own horn because you're a very humble person, but can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. Just this past year, we were recognized by Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. Out of 5,000, we ranked 676. In Mississippi, we were the fastest growing firm in the whole, not just firm, fastest growing business in the whole state. We are the fastest growing female-owned law firm in the United States and the second fastest growing personal injury firm in the United States. So those were really big deals. We were able to go to the Inc. 5000 Gala and be recognized, and it was wonderful. Closer to home, for the last 2 to 3 years, a lot of the awards are on the wall. We have been recognized by WCBI as the Viewer's Choice Award, the Daily Journal as the Reader's Choice Award, WTVA, which is another TV station, Viewer's Choice Awards. It's wonderful to be recognized nationally, but I think it means more to be recognized right here at home. I can't take credit for all that. I have an amazing staff. Everybody here comes in. It's very fast paced. Mm-hmm. I tell people I'm slow to hire but quick to fire. If you're not suited for this type business, then I want you to be successful in whatever you endeavor. But there is a certain, a work ethic that we look for, and just the heart that we look for in people, and you gotta love people. We're dealing with sick, injured people that possibly going through a paradigm shift in life where they'll never be able to go back to work, or they've lost a loved one, and you've got to be able to have empathy and really feel for them and get them where they need to be. So all the accolades has Mama Justice name on it, but I tell all of our staff here that we are all Mama Justice. One of our core values is the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So not any of us, any one single person can do it, but together we can move mountains.
It's amazing. So I've got to ask you, Missy, how did you get into personal injury law?
Well, when I first got out of law school, when I went to law school, I was working for a bank, a very large bank here in town. And I thought that when I got out, I would do corporate law. And sure enough, when I got out of law school in the year 2000, I went right back to the bank and I worked on loan documentation. I had about 10 departments under me, 120 people that, I supervised indirectly or supervised. So, banking was really what I'd wanted to do my entire life. I know this is kind of a side note, but when I was a little girl, my grandmother used to take me to the bank. And this is back in the 70s. And this is when ladies wore pantyhose. Mm-hmm. The bank tellers were beautiful people. They dressed up and had makeup and I wanted to be a bank teller because I just wanted to dress up and, have that look every day. Okay. But so the banking was always near and dear to my heart. But I never really practiced law. So in 2009, I quit the bank, started working in a law firm, just a solo practitioner law firm. We took anything that walked in the door, criminal, chancery, whatever it was, bankruptcy, and I learned a lot. But then I got the opportunity in 2013 to work for personal injury, and I thought, well, that's going to narrow the field. I don't have to go to court as much. I'll really learn personal injury because, I had this kind of had an idea that personal injury attorneys were seedy people, kind of like the used car salesman. And I don't know it. And I went to work for this personal injury law firm, and I learned a lot, but I wasn't really satisfied there. That firm, the owner didn't really work cases. He was all concerned about the money, and it wasn't really about people. And like I said, in personal injury, we deal with people that are hurt, and it breaks my heart. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they're entitled to get. They don't even understand their own insurance policies. Nevertheless, the policy of a large corporation or a defendant. So I had really, when I moved to Texas, I thought I may go back into banking because I was kind of disenfranchised with the whole personal injury space. But when I got to Texas, I went to work for a personal injury attorney out there. He was a professor at Texas Tech at the law school, and he was phenomenal. He taught me that you can be a personal injury attorney and you can be a damn good one. You can care about people. You can, you can put the person first, the money, the cases, the sign-ups, all that's going to follow if you do the right thing. And, I just believe that this is a big plan that God all had laid out that I didn't know anything about, and I just had to follow in those footsteps to get there. But that's how I got back to personal injury. Now, I love personal injury. To me, personal injury is the best legal field to be in. It's kind of like the Robin Hood of the legal world. You get to fight big insurance companies for the money, and you get to bring it to people that are hurt and really need it. And it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. You don't know how many hugs I get from people and how many lives that honestly I see changed. It's phenomenal. I tell everybody, God works the miracles. I just get to be a part of it.
Oh, I love that so much. So when we were off camera, you picked up this milk stool over here, and I asked you if maybe you could do that for a video too, because I've seen these milk stools throughout your office. Can you tell me a little bit about what this is all about?
I can. This is something that I learned along the way. This is a milk stool. Probably students at Ole Miss have no idea what a milk stool is, but people used to milk cows, and they used to sit on this milk stool, and if you notice, it has 3 legs. And this milk stool, without any one of these legs, would not stand. It would just topple over. So I teach, people new into the industry that these 3 legs are what we're looking for in the personal injury lawsuit. You got to have damages, so people have to be hurt. You got to have insurance somewhere to get, get a reward for the client, and then you have to have liability. They've got to be at fault. They've got to do something wrong. So that's the three legs of the milk stool that we look for. My intake team that qualifies the leads, they're called milk stoolers.
Oh, that's so clever. I love that.
So we have 3 milk stoolers that all day they answer the phone and qualify leads, and it really does break it down and make it easy for people to understand the personal injury space and what makes it work.
Yeah, I love that. I think that will be valuable to the students as well. Torts just happened to be my favorite class. So you're speaking my language when you're talking about all that. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is something that is near and dear to my heart, and it's giving back to the community. And I know that Mama Justice does that very well. So can you tell us a little bit about what your business does to give back to the community?
Sure, I would love to share that. We have a heart for giving back. We not only give back to the community, we give back to our employees, we give back to our clients. Quarterly, our firm, we have community give back, functions where we reach out to the community. We built a couple of Habitat for Humanity houses. We've done all kinds of community work. We sponsor a lot of children, sponsoring the Youth Symphony Orchestra this quarter, and but we look for those opportunities to give back. The Humane Society, all these are on our radar for giving back to the community. We've started a foundation. I mean, some people may not know this, but I lost my oldest son in 2018. And honestly, that Mama Justice, the idea had just been born at that time. And it was right then that, this old world just got too hard for him. And he passed on September the 3rd of 2018. And we had already been talking about Mama Justice and putting a billboard up, and my husband wanted to put it up, and I was like, I've just lost a child. I can't put this billboard up and, people know that I've just buried my 25-year-old son. And it was I was so torn, but he knew and God knew that that's what I needed. Mm-hmm. So Mama Justice has come in and it's filled a big hole that Macon, my son, left. And through Mama Justice, the Making a Difference Foundation, we did set up a foundation in his name and in his honor. We're able to give back, and all of our community events are done under Making a Difference Foundation. We've given backpacks to schools, and you name it, all kinds of giveaways. But one of the main things that I do is free expungements for people that maybe have gone through drug court, or any in our area, that any felons that their charge is expungible. We will expunge it for free and give them a new lease on life. Wow. And we do that all under our Making a Difference Foundation. There's a page set up on Facebook. We always make pictures, with the recipients of Making a Difference Foundation. We donated $5,000 this year to Change, which is the skateboard park here in Tupelo that they were trying to build under the Making a Difference Foundation, because children are our future. Young people are our future. And it's so important that we realize that, and we make sure that this whole world is as good as we can get it, so that they have every opportunity to make a difference. I am not the know-all, end-all, be-all. I was not the top of my class. I didn't go back to law school until I was 32. I graduated at 35. I'm the first person in my family to ever go to law school, to ever go to college even. So, anybody can do this. I tell people all the time, it's not can you do it, it's do you want to. It's the want to's you have to worry about. Anybody that wants to do what I've done or what anybody's done, if you want to bad enough, you can do it. So part of my, what I thrive for in life is just to make a difference and make sure that these kids or young people or anybody has the opportunity, to do whatever they want to do and leave the world a little bit better than you found it.
Well, I love your heart. I think that this is a wonderful place to stop. And again, we're just so grateful that as busy as you are, you made time for Ole Miss Law today. So thank you again so much.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for remembering me. I invite you to come back by, and I wish you the very best on your law school career and then all the good that you can do thereafter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.